Hi everyone, it's Mike here, and this is the race briefing video for the Dorney Triathlon. Okay, so what we're going to do is run you through some about what's going to be happening on the day, some of the timings, etc., and then hopefully you're going to be fully prepared to turn up on the day and enjoy your experience. I'm actually here at Dorney right now, and as you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous. You can see the Olympic Bridge there in the background behind me, and this amazing, beautiful lake. Look at that. How gorgeous does that look? That is what you guys are going to be swimming in. So here we are. What is going to be happening then on the day? So the timings for the day is that registration will be opening at 5:30 a.m. The address for how to get here to Dorney Lake is in your race information, so it's important you do read through the race information that is going to be sent out to you. Okay, if that has got all the details in, the postcodes, etc., and so you'll be able to get the right directions. If you are coming by car, then pretty obviously you'll probably be using like Google Maps or satellite sat navs. That will bring you to the right place. Okay, and it's important you come in through the main entrance. If you are trying to get here, let's say you come on a bike, or you're trying to get here by you're walking using footpaths or whatever, or public transport, don't try and get here by coming on footpaths that go behind the clubhouse. Because actually there's a big fence in the way. There's a big 6-foot high fence, so it's very important you come in through the main entrance, okay, which is it's actually at the other end of the lake. Okay, so the boathouse is down here at this end of the lake where transition is going to be, but it's down at the south end of the lake, but the entrance into the Dorney Lake area is actually at the other end of the lake. It's important that you do come in through that entrance. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the event. Then you're going to turn up and just follow the instructions that are provided to you by the car parking marshals. There is a large car park down here next to the clubhouse that will get filled up first. After that, they will then start using the access road and possibly some of the grassed up area as well to park your cars on. Please do leave plenty of time, okay, to move to actually walk down from the car parks to the registration area and where the transition area is going to be. You may be parked up to 1 kilometre away, okay, depending on how early you turn up. So do make sure you leave plenty of time to make sure you've got time to set yourself up, etc. You don't want to be rushing before the start, okay? Okay, so the sprint distance is going to be a 750 metre, 1 lap swim in the lake, and then it is a 4 lap, and it's 20 kilometre bike, okay, so a 4 lap 20 kilometre bike, and then it's going to finish off with a 1 lap 5k run. Okay, that is the sprint distance. The information will be in the final details that have been sent to you as to which wave you are in, because it's going to be split by age categories. Okay, and so have a look there in the final details. That will have all the information in there. Now the standard distance is basically double what you do in the sprint. So it's a 1500 meters, still only 1 lap swim. Okay, so it'll be a 1500 meter lap of swim. And then there will be 8 laps of the bike course, so 8 laps to make up the 40 kilometre bike course, and then it's 2 laps to make up the 10k run at the end. All right. So you're going to, when you first arrive down here, you're going to go to registration. It'll all be clearly marked where registration is, and at registration you are going to be given a pack with some numbers in. Okay, you'll get 2 numbers. You'll also get 2 stickers in there. All right, and then you are also going to get a chip timing. A chip basically that goes around your ankle. It's your timing chip. All right. Now then, your numbers, you get given 2 numbers because you need to have 1 on the back for the bike leg and 1 on the front for the run leg. Okay, it's entirely up to you how you do that. If you're just wearing a t-shirt of some sort or a top of some sort, you can pin 1 on the front and pin 1 on the back. Okay, and you wear that for both the bike and the run. If you know what a number belt is, a triathlon number belt, then that's absolutely fine. You can use that, and you basically swizzle the number belt round from the back to the front. In which case you're only going to need 1 number. In which case you've got 1 spare. Okay. Also, like I said, there's going to be 2 stickers. The stickers, you put 1 on your helmet, okay, your bike helmet, and you also put 1 on the crossbar of your bike. That is so that we can identify your bike as belonging to you. As you come in and out of transition, there will be marshals there to get you in and out of transition when you're racking and unracking at the back at the end of the race. And that's there to make sure no one else runs off with your bike and helmet, okay? So it's important also that you you basically have your number with you when you're coming in and out of transition, to make sure that we can match it up to any equipment you're taking out. Also, like I say, there's going to be a timing chip. The timing chip goes on a band that goes around your left ankle. Okay, it's important it goes on your left ankle for two reasons. One is that the timers, who when they've set up their timing equipment, will set it up on the left hand side to read things from the left, and secondly, if you have it on the right hand side when you're on the bike, that is the side where your chain is and your pedals and all the gears and everything, and there's an increased chance that something can get caught in your chain and cause an accident. So very important you put that on your left ankle, and that needs to be worn throughout the swim, the bike and the run. So all three stages: the swim, the bike and the run. If you don't wear a chip, you won't get a time. Okay, so it's very important that you do wear that. All right. So you're going to get given that stuff. Also at registration, there will be a table there with some marker pens on it, and what we ask is that you write your race number on the back of your left hand. Okay, this is for safety reasons. So in the swim, if we needed to identify you for any reason and you've got a wetsuit on, say, then we'd be able to identify you by the number that is written on the back of your hand. Okay, after you've done that, you're going to go into the transition area and find your racking point in transition. Okay, in the racking area there will be numbered poles. It's quite likely we're going to have two separate transition areas, one for the sprint and one for the standard. Okay, so go to the right area. If you're not sure, ask a marshal, they will point you in the right direction, and then they will also advise you where to go to actually find your spot. It'll all be numbered racking. Okay, so you find your number, and that is where you're going to rack your bike. So when you rack your bike, you will be basically racking it by the seat post, all right? And when you rack it by the seat post, by the saddle, basically, it'll be pointing towards you with the front wheel on the ground. Okay, if everyone does that, and you'll be racking on the side where your number is facing you on the pole, okay, on the racking pole. So that's how you're going to rack your bike. You're also going to put your helmet there as well, all right, which you're going to be using for the bike, and also any bike shoes and anything you're going to be using for the run, any run shoes, etc. Please don't bring huge bags into transition or huge boxes. There won't be room for that for everybody. So one of the rules we have is that we don't like lots and lots of bags around transition. We will try and make area at the edge of transition for people to put a small bag to keep your transition area clean, your racking area clean, and keep it all nice and tidy. So we'll leave an area space at the side for you to drop your bag into, okay, and that keeps it all nice and tidy for everyone else. So you're going to rack your bike, all right. Then what you're going to do is have a really good look around transition and work out all the routes in and out. It's quite confusing when you come out the swim and you're trying to find your bike. So what I recommend is that you have a good walk through the routes from where the swim comes out to your bike, and then where you're going to go from your bike to the exit of the transition area on the bike. Equally, when you come back in from your bike, how to get back to your transition area. Think of it like a car park at Christmas. It's always difficult to find your car. It's always the same when you're trying to find your racking spot when you come back in off the bike. Trying to find where to put your bike back. It has to go back in the same spot, and then you need to then work out how you're going to run out onto the run course. So definitely worthwhile having a little walk through all of those routes so you're comfortable with it. Okay, what else are you going to do? So some of the rules of transition, okay, and how it works, how triathlon works, is that you're not allowed to ride your bike in the transition area. Okay, so there's a mount line and a dismount line. All right, so you must, when in the middle of the race, when you come out the swim, you are going to go to the transition area, and you are then going to find your spot. You must put your helmet on before you touch your bikes. That's another one of the rules that Triathlon has. So you must touch your you must put your helmet on before you touch your bike. Then you're going to take your bike to the bike exit, and you must not get on your bike until you've crossed over the mount line. Okay, that'll be clearly marked, and we'll have marshals there waving at you and shouting at you if you try to get on earlier. All right, and if you do get on early, they'll make you get back off and carry on until you do actually cross the line. You cross the line, you mount your bike, and then you go off and do your bike leg. When you come back in, there will be a dismount line. You must get off your bike before you get to that dismount line, and then run with your bike or walk with your bike back to your parking spot in the racking spot, rack your bike, and then take your helmet off. You can't take your helmet off or undo your helmet until after you put your bike back. Okay, so it's another one of the rules. Right, so how's it going to operate then? You've basically racked your bike, you've got it all comfortable, you're ready. You're probably going to be wearing wetsuits, I suspect, for this. The rules on triathlon will depend. They depend upon the water temperature as to whether wetsuits are mandatory or not. Okay, it's quite likely that wetsuits will not be mandatory. Very likely that wetsuits will be optional. All right. If you have got one and you've got one to wear, then I'd recommend wearing one. Okay, it is an open water swim after all. But if you haven't got one, it's fine. Okay, so as long as the water temperature isn't too cold, you can still compete without one. Okay. If you're unsure about that, it's worthwhile checking up on the British Triathlon website. Lots of rules and regulations in there on the British Triathlon website about water temperatures, etc., and wetsuits. Before the swim, you'll be asked to gather near the swim start. The swim start's going to be on a pontoon, next to a pontoon. You'll be asked to walk down the pontoon into the lake. You can see them behind me. There you go, there's the pontoons. All right. You'll be asked to walk down onto those pontoons and then enter into the lake. Okay. We'll give you just a few minutes to acclimatise yourself before the start, if you wish to, just to make sure that you're comfortable with the water temperature. And then we'll line you up behind an imaginary line between the pontoons, okay? And then we will be setting you off in your waves. There'll be a wave start. If you are new to triathlon, you're uncertain about the swim or nervous about it, then my top tip to you is to basically stay at the back for the start of the swim. Don't try and push yourself through to the front. It can get quite hectic at the start of the triathlon swims. So I recommend sort of like stay out of trouble, stay at the back, and just have a nice relaxed start to the swim. Okay. You're going to do the swim course, okay? That'll be marked out with buoys. There will be maps at registration and also in the pack, the race information pack sent to you to mark out the route that will be taken. Like I said, both the sprint and the standard will both be using a 1 lap course. It's just that the standard is twice as far, okay? And then you're going to exit the water at the far end of transition. So I don't know if you can sort of like see it. So right over the far end there, you can probably see the pontoons. It's over the other side of the far pontoon, and you're going to exit there, and that is where you'll then entrance into transition. So your swim time will be taken when you get out the water, and then you'll be in your transition time. You're going to run to your bike. You'll get your wetsuit off if you need to, obviously your hat and goggles, etc. as well. Forgot to mention, we will also be giving you a swim hat, okay, at registration. So you will be having a swim hat that will correspond, the colour of the swim hat will correspond to the wave that you are participating in. So when you're lining up for the swim start, hopefully the colour of your hat should basically match up with everyone else's on that swim start. If it doesn't, you might want to ask a marshal what's happened, and it may well be you've got the wrong colour hat or whatever, yeah. So you will basically, you'll take off your hat and goggles, and then you're going to run to your bike. You're going to put your helmet on, like I said, first, okay, and then get your bike unracked and take it to the exit of the transition area. Go out of the transition area, and then don't get on until you cross that mount line. You're then going to do your bike laps. Like I mentioned earlier, it is a roughly 5k lap, just under 5k lap, and so you're going to be doing 4 laps of that for the sprint, and you'll be doing 8 laps of that for the standard. It's your responsibility, okay, to count your own laps. All right, so no one's going to be telling you how many laps you've got to go. You've got to count your own laps. I recommend that you either use a stopwatch to basically know how long it took to do the first lap, and then multiply that up by the number of laps you've got to do, and that way you'll know when you're finished. Or alternatively, if you've got a little trip computer, that will tell you how far you've gone. Like I say, I think it's just under the 40k and the 20k, okay, so we're just short of that. But that will be accurate enough to be able to tell you whether you've done enough laps or not. Then when you've done the laps, you're going to come back into transition. You're going to dismount, okay, at the dismount line, and then run back into transition, rack your bike, take off your helmet. Don't forget, don't take off your helmet until after you put your bike back. And then you're going to exit onto the run, okay? Put your run shoes on, obviously, first, if you need to change shoes, and then go out onto that run course. It is 1 lap, okay, for the 5k, which basically runs all the way to the end of the lake, turns around and then comes back, and it is 2 laps for the 10k. All right, and then you're going to come back in to the finish area. Okay, we'll have a big finish area all set up for you, and then there'll be lots of goodies, medals, etc. awaiting you at the finish line. Right then, guys, I think that's roughly about it for all the information you're going to need to know. Like I say, very important you do read through that race information that has been sent to you. That will have all the information in there, postcodes, etc. of how to get here, and it will also have the information about the wave starts and what wave you are in. we're really looking forward to welcoming you here. We've got a really good entry for this race. Got lots of people participating and taking part in it. As you can see behind me here, this is an absolutely beautiful venue, and we are honoured to be here at Eton Dorney Lake and to participate in this and actually put this event on. So we cannot wait to welcome you here and basically to see you through and help you through your triathlon. You may be an absolute beginner taking part in your first race, and that's absolutely wonderful. It's great to welcome you to the triathlon community. If you have any questions on the day, just ask the marshals that we're wearing high vis or wearing the event t-shirts. Just ask any of us for any help. Everyone will be willing to help you and help you on your way and guide you. Okay, obviously if you're an expert at this and an old hand, then you'll know what you're doing, and maybe you can help out some people as well. And that's it. Goodbye from me from Dorney.